Hello everyone, Seraphin here, and welcome back. Thank you for joining me on Fire Emblem Blazing Sword. We last left off with Chapter 8, so we're going to progress straight into Chapter 9, A Grim Reunion. Now this is odd, because last chapter they mentioned something about going back to Caelin and finding Ellawood, but now you see we're just kind of progressing the same direction. Ah yes, this is where he sends out messengers telling them all, hey, we need your help to defeat this girl. It's kind of pathetic if you think about it. Although Lynn's a pretty imposing adversary, but none of them know that. Yeah, we don't actually get to see that conversation. We just kind of like, oh yeah, by the way, she went back there, she talked to Ellawood, and then things are happening. We get to see the aftermath of that. And that would be right here. Laos, Toscana, Catholic, Tanya, and Santa Ruz. Tania, I guess, I don't know. So they're just going to remain neutral in this whole conflict. They are all Switzerland. And we are General Patton invading Berlin. I don't know if General Patton actually invaded Berlin. I'm just making some generalizations. So this is the best Ella we can do. He's like, I can't help you directly, but I can make sure nobody else gets involved. So that's the aid that he's offering. And he's going to pray for her, and I guess that's cool too. And there he goes. Bye, Ellawood. Oh yeah, so now we get a new gameplay mechanic in this particular chapter that you don't see very much, thankfully, because it's a pain, but it's imposing enough that it causes problems if you're not prepared for it. Or don't know how to deal with it. And I'll explain that once we get actually onto the game board here. General Eagler. We'll see him in a moment. So, we get 10 units again, and Matthew's back. That's great. That being said, Urg's only magic weapon is broken, so we have no reason to bring him. And instead, we're going to bring Wrath, because I think he'll be pretty helpful this time. So, sorry, Urg, but you're going to sit on the bench for a little bit. He's not a bench warmer, he's just... He's keeping it warm, but not for very long. That being said, we're going to need this bow back from Will. Sorry, Will. And we're going to borrow Urg's Vulnerary while we're at it. Does anybody need that lance? I don't believe so. Nope, sure not. Alright. And then we're also going to... We don't need all these lockpicks. So we're going to let Urk hold on to one of them. I don't think he'll need this round either, but I'll hang on to it just in case. And Urk's actually going to hold all of our fun little stuff here. That Angelic Robe, I need to use that before the end of Lynn's quest, because while I do get to maintain everybody's stats and levels, when I regain them in Ellawood's quest, they will not have the same items. They will be regenerated with a predetermined set of items. So anything you don't use is gone. Meaning if I don't use that Angelic Robe, I'll have wasted it. So I need to use that by the end of next level. Let's see, we're going to park... Lucius right here. I'm generally going to go split my forces in two different ways up here. One to go north of the mountains there, and one to go south. Here's the boss here. This is General Eagler. He is a paladin. And you might be wondering, I haven't seen that before. That's because he is promoted, and it says he's level 1. He's actually effectively level 21. Or he may be as low as actually level 11, depending. The way that you get promoted units is there are special items that you can use on a given class that will allow them to promote into their advanced, I guess you can call it a prestige class. And you can start doing that once they reach level 10. You can do it any time between level 10 and level 20. So Eagler used to be a Cavalier, but he was promoted at some point after he reached level 10. By the looks of his stats, it was probably about at level 10. A lot of the pre-promotes you see in the early levels aren't all that impressive, but he is still a promoted unit and still very dangerous. 10 strength and 10 defense is nothing to sneeze at this low level. His con is 12, which is very impressive, and you can see he has the ranged equivalent of both a lance and an axe. So he will be countering me at any distance. And he has potential to manipulate the triangle to his advantage. And paladins also get to use all three of the weapon triangle weapons once they reach the paladin level, instead of just lances and swords. So even though he's level E with axes, it's still good enough to use that hand axe. So he's going to be our first real difficult boss enemy of this game. Thankfully, he's not terribly difficult, and you're about to find out why as soon as I'm finished with organizing all my people here. We're going to leave Matthew right in front, and we'll see why in a minute also. This is okay. Yeah, this'll do. Alright, let's get into it. So Matthew wants us to put him in the lead because thieves, thieves, they can see further through fog. It doesn't make a lot of sense, I know, but it's gameplay balance. Now, who's this guy? He looks big and imposing. Lord Wallace. Who is Lord Wallace? Used to be the Knight Commander of Caelin. You know, it's funny, he laughs at the idea of them preventing him, but they probably could. Lynn is sick and tired of their BS. And now we get the awesome knight recruitment theme here. Are you serious? And just like that, he's our friend now. Alright, so now we get our very own Armor Knight, which is great, because I love Armor Knights. He's level 12. So he's vastly out-leveling the rest of my party already. His stats are pretty good. That being said, though, if you play through Lynn's Quest on normal mode, you'll see he comes with this Knight Crest, and that is what's used to promote Knights and Cavaliers into Paladins for Cavaliers and Generals for Knights. So he already comes with one, and we can use it right now if we wanted to. And in Lynn's Quest on normal mode, you are required to use it right away when you get him. You are not required to do so in hard mode, and I don't quite know yet if I'm going to do that, because I would like to use Wallace later on, but if I promote him now, he won't have anywhere near as much potential as if I level him up a little bit. That being said, there's only one more chapter after this, and in order to get him any experience, given that he's so high level, I'll basically have to just kill bosses with him. And that's not all that effective of a use of his talents, so I don't know, we'll think about it. I got a little time to figure it out. So, that being said, though, we are going to take Lucius here into this village. Do you have torches? Well, I wasn't really offered one until right now. If only that actually applied to real-world fog. Too bad you can't vote him out of office, huh? Yep, didn't quite have that luxury back in the day. Alright, so Lucius gets a torch. The Fog of War still hasn't rolled in yet, but it's about to, I believe, next turn, and then I'll get to show you exactly what that does. So this mercenary dude here, we'll let Kent deal with him. I'll just park Kent right on this bridge, or right across the bridge, I should say. Actually, what's over here? Anything? Reinforcements are going to spawn out of this fort here, this one in the center of the mountains, this one down here, this one. They're going to spawn everywhere, basically. Except from up here. I don't think any spawn from up here. But we're going to have all sorts of reinforcements. So, best to be prepared. I'm going to park Kent over here, and I'm going to give him his sword. No, he can keep a lance right now. He needs to level that up. Matthew's going to stay right here. That's a good place for him to go. We're going to give Nils our play bonus here. I should be able to get him level 4. Yeah, there we go. Luck, defense, and resistance. Should be able to get him level 4 by the end of this chapter. We'll move Wallace. We're going to bring him... I want to save some experience for my other people, so we're going to bring him this way. That being said, Sane is going to go this way. And we're going to have Will go with him. Wrath will stay down here with us. Lynn's going to come too. Florina will go up here with them. And we're probably going to need Sarah more than likely up this way, so I'll have her go with them. Yep, there's all this reinforcement. Oh, we're reinforced with 2 spawn out of that top one. There's an archer up there. Tink. So satisfying. Like I said, this level might take a little longer than normal, only because the constant stream of people. I don't like leaving enemies unaccounted for if I can help it. So I'll probably stick around until everybody is gone, and then I'll move on to the next one. Who needs the experience? Matthew could do with some, I think. He's going to get hit by that Cavalier if I move him, though. He's got a lance, so I could park him on this side instead. Armor Slayer doesn't quite do it, and this guy's just a little bit too fast. Although, I suppose I could use Nils to let him move again. Yeah, even with that ludicrous speed, Matthew's not fast enough to double this guy because he's sitting at 9, just outside of his doubling range. Like I said, these mercenaries are incredibly dangerous later on. I'll finish this guy off and get a level. Oh, are you kidding me? Well, at least he missed 2. But then we'll have Kent shore up and make sure that Nils doesn't get hit. That would be bad. And Lynn will... Oh, jeez. He might go for Nils. We'll have Wrath park his face here to avoid that problem. And then I'm going to let Sane... I want Sane to do it? No. No, we're going to let Will do it. Will needs all the help he can get, unfortunately. Will, as I mentioned when I got him, is okay, but sometimes he needs a little bit of a push to get him going in the right direction. And we're actually going to let Sane deal with this Brigand, because Sane is the only one that can use swords up in these parts. Florina would get absolutely wrecked by these guys, as you can see, because 42% hit chance. That's because they're sitting on these mountaintops. And Brigands are one of only a couple of units that can actually traverse these mountain peaks. Obviously Flyers can, because they just hover over them, but Brigands and Pirates can walk over mountains, and they can also walk over water. Not very quickly, mind you, but they are one of a couple units that can traverse normally impassable terrain. I'll probably let Florina deal with that Myrmidon. I'll make sure Sarah's out of range of getting hit. Oh, the Mercenary's actually going to go for Matthew. That's not smart. I would have gone for Wrath personally, but... Now we'll see what these Brigands do. Myrmidons. Oh, and it occurs to me, you've probably never seen a Myrmidon before. So, I'll go over what he does in a minute. Ouch. That was unpleasant. Should probably put Lucius in the forest so he doesn't... Are you kidding with this 36% chance thing? Skill and luck. No speed. Are you kidding? That's really unusual that he's not getting speed. Alright, Sing, hit him. There you go. Yeah, we're going to be getting hit quite a bit more often than usual in this level, I think. Which is fine, because I'll be prepared for it. Oh, there's the fog. So, we can't see into this fog anymore. This is called Fog of War. But as you can see, Matthew can see extra far in it, while our normal guys can only see about 3 squares in each direction. Matthew can see, I believe, 6 or 8. So parking him here is actually an incredibly strategic position because it allows us to see much more of the battlefield. And I think we're going to let Wrath deal with... You know, I might have Wallace walk in and smack him one. Now, Wallace has absurdly high defense. Oh, I forgot to turn his animations on. We haven't got a new unit in a while. So, we'll turn Wallace... Oh, and Wrath, look at that. Alright, there we go. That sucks, too, because I love the way knights look when they attack. So we soften that guy up, which will let Wrath take him out in one shot. And I could probably just solo this whole map with just Wallace, to be honest with you. But there's no fun in that, so... we'll let Matthew... Oh, jeez, really? I think I'll just heal him up, actually. So that way, if he miraculously gets hit with 35% again, he'll be okay. I believe Kent could kill this guy. Yeah, he could, totally. But I like the idea of Matt. No, I don't want to risk him getting hit more than once. So we'll leave him to be. And we'll park Lynn here in case anyone tries to get around him and go for nils. That would be bad. We don't want that. And then Lucius is going to park on this forest instead, like a smart person. And he's got 1 vulnerary left. He's still holding on to that Lance Reaver. I forgot all about that. I really should give that to somebody who can use a sword. Will's going to pick this soldier guy off again. Now I know that there are archers coming my way from this fog. And unfortunately, if I don't move Florina, she might be getting hit by one. However, oh yeah, this Myrmidon. So, Myrmidons are the equivalent of very nimble, as you can see here, skill and speed 10. They're very quick dualisty sword fighters. They promote to sword masters, which are okay. I'm not a huge fan of sword masters, honestly, but a lot of people love sword masters. They're the fastest units in the game. They're even faster than Pegasus Knights in most cases. And they're very difficult to deal with unless you have lances because they're so fast. But thankfully, Florina's in a position where she can easily take these guys out. Because she herself is also very nimble and can hit things very easily herself. And we'll have Sane finish this guy off, hopefully. Yep. Make sure that Brigand can't quite get to me. That's good. Probably going to put Sarah here and heal Florina up just a little bit in case that archer does come out of nowhere. Sarah's going to get magic, speed, and resistance. Not bad. Like I said, it's very hard to level clerics up, but usually they're pretty worth it once you get them to promotion level material here. Nobody is drastically hurt, so we should be okay. And here comes yet more reinforcements. Oh, you have got to be kidding me with this. Oh well, what are you gonna do? At least Matthew's dodging now. Some of you are probably wondering, why don't I just kill these guys and be done with it? Well, like I said, I like to take the time to train up my units that aren't quite caught up to the rest of the group. Really? With the 71% miss? Come on. This is a perfect example of what I was explaining early on about how when you really think you're going to hit, you probably won't. And the enemy will probably hit when they really have no reason to. It's just backwards. You should always operate under the assumption that the enemy will always hit you. Because generally... Holy smokes, really? An 89% miss? Oh, well, I was wrong about that archer not being out of range. There's another one right behind him, if I believe, so... We might need to get some archer-on-archer action here. Oh, we can double these guys. Perfect. And he's going to crit this one, actually. Puts him right up to level 7, does it? Yeah. Ugh, come on, Will. At least he got a bow level increase. Puts him to level E, does it? Or level C? Yeah, there we go. I'll have Sarah heal up Florina, because that really hurt. And Sarah goes to, I believe, C rank with staves. Yep, she sure does. Let's try hitting this fool yet again. Nope, no such luck. But he's not hitting me either, so... Hey, Insane goes to, I believe, rank D with swords. Yes, he does. Everybody's getting weapon ranks all at once. That's kind of nice. Alright, we'll let Matthew take this guy out. Or not. Come on. There you go. Okay, that guy can't quite get around me, so it's going to be safe if I bring Kent over here to give Lucius. He can hang on to the torch, actually. Because I have Matthew, I don't have a whole lot of use for the torch. Alright, we're going to put Florina right here. So she can take down those poor saps. Oh, there's one right there. Look at that. Oh, that's bad. This is why Fog of War is a problem. I think Sarah should be fine. She's not going to get doubled, obviously, because her speed's way too high, but that guy's gonna hurt. That guy's gonna hurt pretty bad. Yeah, it's half her health. No big deal. Alright, Wallace. Wonder if Rat's gonna crit that guy. I'd rather level him up than Wallace, to be honest, so... Just love hearing the impact on those footsteps. And the clanking of the armor sounds so cool. I'm a nerd for heavy armor. When I play things like Skyrim, or if I'm doing a D&D campaign, I'll almost pick the guys with the heavy plate armor. Love that stuff. I'm sure I'm getting judged by about 17 different people right now, but you know what? That's okay. I'm used to it. Yep, and there he goes for her. Oh, he's gonna miss. Look at that. Florina should have a relatively easy time with these chumps. Alright. Uh-oh. Yeah, we need to clean that guy up a little quicker, I think. Oh, dear. Where'd that Cavalier come from? Thankfully, Will is just fast enough that he can take care of these guys on his own. Otherwise, that might be a problem. This is honestly a little more clustery than I was expecting it to be. But, you know, things don't always work out the way you want them to. So we're going to have Sane finish this guy off because he's a problem. I know the rule is don't split the party, but... And some of you are going to criticize this move for being asinine. It's not, I promise. Doesn't feel great, but... There we go. Level 7 for her, I believe, too? Okay. Skill and luck, not bad. She's kind of lacking in the speed department, ironically enough. Normally should have like 14 or something by now. Seems like a lot of my units have been getting kind of screwed in the strength, or the speed department, I should say. So here's the plan with this. We're going to send Wrath out there to take care of that guy. Because Wrath hits like a truck, even with a weak bow. And it puts him down low enough that Will can finish him off. Let's see if I can finish this guy off from here. Actually, I'm going to let him come to me because the problem with the way the weapon ammo works, if you miss with a regular weapon like a sword, an axe, or a bow, it does not expend a use of the weapon. However, even if you miss with magic, it still ticks down the number that you have left. So I don't want to risk missing this guy and wasting my lightning tome, so I'll let him come to me. And then we're going to move Matthew up into the trees here so we can get a better look at the surroundings. It appears that reinforcements have stopped. There's 2 soldiers down here, and then we have Eagler himself, obviously. Thankfully, he is slow enough that he will not double anybody on my team, not even Wallace with his pathetic 5 speed. So we can safely move everybody up here, it looks like. I'm just going to leave Lucius there. I know that sounds stupid, but he can fend for himself for now. He's probably going to hit again, but... well, maybe not. You'd think with how fast he is, he'd be dodging a lot more, but because his luck is so pathetic, it's not helping with his evasion chance at all. And he gets hit a lot more often than you think somebody of his speed caliber would. Oh, there's another one there, too. Alright, Sane, finish this guy off. What level is Sane already? Is he level 6? He is, okay. We're actually going to start moving the team here over to the other half of the map where the rest of my guys are. And there shouldn't be anybody else coming out of that fort up there either, if everywhere else has stopped, so... just double check. As for these soldiers, I don't like the idea of anybody I have down here taking care of them, so actually, you know what, I think I'll let Kent do it. He needs some lance experience. We'll get General Wallace right in behind him here. I know Wallace isn't technically a general yet, but I believe that's still his title. In fact, those guys are so pathetic, I bet you even Wallace would double them. Yep, he sure would. So it'll be interesting to see who they go for. Probably Kent, but... yep, there we go. And Kent will make quick work of these sorry guys. believe that's the last bandit reinforcement. Oh, jeez. Good thing, too. Yeah, I believe that's all of them. Alright, so we're gonna have... Kent's not gonna level up from killing that other soldier. That's alright, we'll move him in anyway. That guy's right here. So if I park Matthew right on top, he's not gonna get hit by anything. Nope. Alright, let's get the rest of my troops down here. Eagler doesn't require my entire army to kill necessarily, but because he's quite hardy, and you don't want him retaliating against anybody because he's so powerful, it's best to try to take him down in a single turn if you can help it. Otherwise, if you put anybody that's remotely fragile, like say for example Lucius or Florina in the way, he'll probably kill them. Given that he's got 17 attack with that hand axe and 16 with that javelin, and that axe is going to have an advantage on most of my people. And even if I were to switch to a sword to get an advantage on the axe, he'd just switch back to the javelin and regain the advantage. So again, best to try to kill him in a single round if at all possible. So let's see if I can soften him up. Oh geez, are you kidding me? Well, Rat's not doing that. 7 speed puts him just outside of my double range. Lyn can't even double him. Holy smokes, that's a problem. She can definitely Mani-Kati him to all heck and back, but... So what I'll probably end up doing here... Man, he's tougher than I remember him being, that's for sure. And of course, I don't have anybody. The only person I have that's capable of using magic is Lucius, and he'd get wrecked in a single hit from that guy almost. I suppose I am playing on hard mode. Satan could probably put a dent in him with that 12 strength. He's so far away. Wallace can probably dent him too. In fact, you know, why don't we just have Wallace soften him up for a little bit. And here we go. So, once you start getting some more notable characters as bosses, they will have different conversations when they engage with them depending on who they're fighting. So, because Eagler is a general of Caelin and so was Wallace, they know each other and they're able to have this little interlude here. If it were anybody else, aside from Lyn, or maybe Kent and Sane, he'd just get a generic line of, I'm gonna kick your butt, or something like that, you know. But because they know each other, there's some special... You get some special dialogues in almost every chapter, actually, depending on who fights. Usually a different one if it's the main character. Almost always the main character gets different lines of dialogue. So, Paladin, the animations look awesome. Paladins are one of my favorite classes, no shock to anybody that knows me. Again, I believe Kent has a unique line of dialogue with Eagler as well. However, if I throw this at him and then he retaliates with the hand axe, I will die. So we don't want to do that right now. At least not until I get healed up. And because General Eagler is on that fort, he's going to be getting back a couple hit points every turn. Here comes the hand axe. Thankfully, Wallace is so bloody tanky, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Man, actually having to use Wallace, this is interesting. I don't think I've ever had this happen to me before. Not in recent memory, at any rate. Problem is, Lyn is much more under-leveled than I normally have her at this point. She also has a lot less speed than she normally would at this point in the game, too, so... A lot of my party is kind of getting screwed in the speed department, except for Kent, actually. And Matthew, because he's unspeed screwable, because his speed is just so bloody high. Not even going to bother with Florina, I don't think she can touch him. Let's see if Lucius can do some magic damage to him. Once again, he's 1 speed off from being able to double him. Although he will level up from 1 engagement, so maybe he'll be able to get to 11 speed. Yeah, 48% is not great. Alright, let's see what Lucius can do. 7, that's respectable. He's going to get outright murdered in retaliation, but... So this is the generic line he says to people that he doesn't know. You shall not pass. Unless you have a light magic tome and a guy who's encased in armor. There we go. Alright, 11 speed. We can double him now. So I can effectively kill him if I get one more round off on him, but Lucius is gonna hecka die if I don't, so... If I don't get him out of there, I should say. So we're just gonna... You know what I'll do? We'll get Sarah out of here. And we'll let Lucius move himself. Right here's fine. Now let's see what Kent says to him, just because I'm curious. Oh, smokes. Alright. Well, you know what? Just because I want to see the dialogue, we're going to leave him right there for a second. And then I can finish off Eagler next turn. Can Will hurt him? 2. That's not great. I'm sure Sane has a dialogue for him as well. What did you expect him to come back with? A passport? I never understood that. Like, oh, you can't prove it's her. Well, you can't prove it's not. And everybody seems to think it is, so, I mean... We're gonna get Kent out of there. Let's see what Sane says. Oh, Sane doesn't get to say anything. Although, I'll tell you what... Because he's got an axe right now, we can whack at him with a sword, I think. Yeah, there we go. Oh, calling it out. Alright, Sane doing a respectable job here. Could just double him and end it right now, but... Actually, no, I would die in the process, wouldn't I? So, we'll get Wallace to move. He doesn't have a ranged weapon, but that's okay. We're gonna kill this guy next turn, so... I really should let Lynn do it. If I'm being honest, but I kind of want Wallace to get the level up. So, we're gonna let him do it instead. Who can I heal up? I can heal Lucius again. It's getting awfully crowded down here. It's only because they don't give you a lot of room to move around in. So he's probably going to sling another axe at Wallace because he's got a lance. No, he's going to go for Sane. Oh, that's right, because the javelin. But that's alright. That makes him a little easier to take down. And Sane's still going to deliver a killing or a hit here, so we're going to get him out of there. And we're going to let Wallace finish him off. And I really need to hit him, because if I miss, this is going to be problematic. Well, I missed. That's problematic. So we're going to need to bail on the little boy here. Alright, please hit him. That would be fantastic. No, he won't. Alright, well, you know what happens. Once more, with vigor. There we go. You knew the whole time, you traitorous jerk. Well, that was a lackluster level. Probably should have let Lynn do it. That's alright. Can I give Sarah any more experience? Yeah, we can definitely do that before the level's over. Next one's going to be a long one, so buckle up. He was a jerk, apparently. Here's our cutaway. Oh, we finally get to see Marquis Caelin for the first time. You miserable old dotard. Dotard? That's what I thought it said when I was growing up. My friend Late Night Mega loves to name his characters that in RPGs. Not really quite sure why. No love lost between these brothers here, apparently. Must have been a really awkward childhood. Anyway, sorry for the long run there, but that's going to take care of Chapter 9. We have one more chapter to go for Lynn's quest before we'll enter the game, the remainder of the game proper here, so we're going to call it for right now, but I'll pick up with the last level of Lynn's Quest, Chapter 10, next time. So, thank you all for joining me again. I have been Seraphin. Have a wonderful evening.